There's not a black America and a white America and Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America.
I'm Maureen Crosses.
Aya Stoltenberg.
Corey.
Kelsey Lottie.
Angela Amy. Rhonda LaCrosse.
Robin Fenderson.
I think it's a great thing. There's kind of a sense of pride in being multiracial.
You see more of the world.
It's kind of fun to be a little diverse and stuff.
I can be a part of this, and I can also be a part of that.
Whoever you are and whatever you happen to be is what it is.
Am I who you thought? My goal is to capture the fastest growing demographic, which is multiracial citizens in my generation. I want to expose the story of race as a visual aspect. Society sees one thing, but you may feel the complete opposite depending on how you were raised.
Just a picture of my grandma's family. As you see, they're all pretty much black, except for my grandma, who's like half.
Like if I take something from my friend, they'll say it's because you're black, and everyone thinks if you're black you steal stuff.
The other day when I was at UCLA, this lady came up to me and she was trying to sell me something. But before she even attempted to, she was asking me if I was going back to China.
I'm half white, half Mexican. It's probably the easiest way to say it without really explaining. And they go, oh, okay. But it's never really been like a barrier or something that people are really surprised by. It's just like, oh, you talk white. That's what they say.
My husband is white and Mexican, and our kids are black, white, Mexican, and Filipino, so that didn't really relate to my black friends. They kind of distanced themselves from me because I was different. For whatever reason, my white friends think I'm ghetto. I don't understand.
When I was little and people used to pull their eyes and call me, Japanese and Chinese and stuff, that hurt a lot. And I would go home crying sometimes because I didn't understand why it mattered.
Do we realize what we say? If there are people in the world who can say these things to people's faces, imagine what they're thinking. As we mature and grow older, we begin to question our ethnicity. Who are we? How did we get here? Who are we related to? Why? When did you first realize your ethnicity?
In first grade, and I stood up and I said, I'm African American. And the teachers were like, little girl, you're really confused. And my mom later that day said, don't you think maybe that's a little surprising? Maybe you should explain it. And I was quoted for saying, they can deal with it. So I guess that's when I realized, who I am.
The actual time it really hit me was in middle school when I started to do really, really well in school, and people would be like, oh, that's because you're Asian. I kind of thought, wow, so my hard work means nothing. It just means because I'm Asian, I'm not automatically smart, and if I get like a C on something, I'm a failure as an Asian, so.
When my mom was black and I was white, and I pretty much just asked, why am I a different color?
Third grade, when I started realizing that not all kids ate tofu and rice balls.
I don't think my parents ever hid it from me or anything like that. I really don't even think of them as different races.
In elementary school, there was this big multicultural festival or assembly or something, and one of the people called me up and he said, what's your heritage? And I said, I'm Japanese, Chinese, and Finnish. And he said, whoa. And I was like, what? Because it was all I knew.
I think in high school it definitely becomes upfront that you need to basically kind of find yourself and either pick a side or, find where you need to be.
The year 2000 was the first year citizens were able to check more than one box for the census. That year, there were 7 million Americans who considered themselves multiracial. It is expected to increase by 33% for the 2010 census.
More recently, I think I've seen one multiracial check mark, but usually I just check other.
If I have to check a box, I always check other because I'm not, unless they allow me to check all of them.
And honestly, I mark however I'm feeling that day. But lately I've been marking part Asian American.
Usually white.
I usually mark white, and then if it has second ethnicity, be more specific, I'll put Asian, and then if it has another one, I'll put Japanese.
I had to look at white and I thought, okay, maybe. And then I look at Hispanic and I'm like, I'm not giving it justice. And then I look down and it says white, not of Hispanic origin. And it just makes me go, what am I supposed to do? They separate them completely. If I had a multiracial box, and then you just explain what are you, I think it can give them just as much information.
I've never seen a multiracial one, but I usually mark other or Caucasian.
Well, it's kind of like when you're in kindergarten and you have like the 64 pack of the awesome crayons, you know, there's always one awkward turquoisey color and you don't know whether you put it with the blues or the greens. And I've always considered multiracial being that awkward turquoise color. You're not quite Asian, you're not quite American. I like being awkward turquoise.
I'm white chocolate because, you know, I'm like white on the outside but chocolate on the inside. This is who I am. I have a little bit of everything.
Our generation, it doesn't seem like multiracial background is not even a big deal anymore. It's a lot more widely accepted.
In a world now where ultimately everyone is multiracial in some way, people still feel the need to classify and categorize. What happens when the lines become too blurry to pigeonhole people?
Honestly, to me it doesn't matter. For others, I know it does. People don't know what to call me. There's so many like flavors of Asian and so many things we could be, so we call each other blobs.
They usually just see me as white. I look more white. I sometimes get annoyed because I like to think of myself as Japanese more, but that's maybe because I like a lot of Japanese things.
Some people think I'm Indian. Some people think I'm from some other South American country. I picked up Mandarin Chinese, so some people think, are you Chinese? Is one of your parents Chinese? It gets really mixed up.
They don't know when they look at me what I am. If I'm black, if I'm Filipino, sometimes I get that I am Puerto Rican. They ask me if I speak Spanish all the time. When I was in Hawaii, they thought I was a local, and then a local wouldn't be asking for directions. I think if he was darker and you know, all of his family members were black, that they wouldn't really take too kindly of him in a sense. They wouldn't think of him as, you know, President Obama. It wouldn't be like that. But it's definitely a foot in the door.
And the rest of the world, they see us as being more accepting now.
Well, I'm really happy that Obama's in the White House because I think he represents America because America is a multiracial nation.
Racism has been a part of American history since the country's beginning, and although we have made progress by electing the nation's first biracial president, we still have much more we can improve upon.